Title: I warned my husband not to mess with my lover, but he went to his house anyway. 4 hours later, cops called and told me to come to the hospital. I was hoping to claim my husband's start. I warned him. God knows I warned him. Don't go to his house, I said that morning, voice calm, eyes steady. He smiled like he always did, that smirk of a man who thought control was his birthright. You think I don't know what's going on, Claire, he said. His tone carried quiet rage, the kind that usually ends in something being broken. He didn't break anything that morning, he just grabbed his keys. 4 hours later, my phone rang. A male voice, official, heavy. Mrs. Turner, you need to come to St. Michael's Hospital. There's been an incident. I remember the silence that followed, how I just stood there, fingers cold around the phone, wondering which of them was dead. I didn't cry, not yet. Daniel and I had been married 11 years, a decade and 1 year too long. In the beginning, he was all charm, ambitious, magnetic, dangerous in the way some men are when they know exactly how to make you feel chosen. We built a house that looked perfect from the outside, all glass and quiet suburbia. Inside, it was a slow decay, the kind that doesn't make noise but leaves a smell. He had his affairs, I had my patience. Until I met Adam. Adam was everything Daniel wasn't. Gentle, thoughtful, the kind of man who looked at you like you were a person, not a reflection. He was a physical therapist I met after a car accident last year. 1 session became 5. 5 became excuses. Soon, he was more than a secret. He was my sanctuary. Daniel wasn't stupid, just arrogant. He noticed the change, the late nights, the soft smiles I tried to hide. And one night he said, "If I ever find out who he is, Claire, I'll make sure he regrets ever touching what's mine." That was the first time I realized Daniel didn't love me. He owned me. I found out he'd been following me for weeks, tracking my phone, reading my emails, even hiring a private investigator. When I discovered that, I didn't panic. I smiled, because it meant I didn't have to play the victim anymore. I started planning. First, I called my insurance agent, made small talk, asked about life coverage, pretended I was worried about accidents. Daniel's policy was lucrative, a reward for years of pretending. Next, I placed a recording device in his car, one he didn't know about. I needed proof of intent in case I ever had to defend myself. Daniel was the kind of man who needed to be undone by his own arrogance. Then I warned Adam, don't provoke him, don't talk to him, please just stay away. But Adam believed in decency, in resolving things face to face. That's what got him hurt. When I reached the hospital, the smell of disinfectant hit me first. A nurse led me down a narrow corridor, the hum of machines echoing through sterile air. "Your husband's in custody," she said softly. "Your friend is stable, but it's serious." Friend. The word stung. I pushed open the door. Adam lay on the bed, pale and motionless, tubes snaking from his body. His face was almost unrecognizable. And Daniel, my husband, sat in a wheelchair in the corner, hands cuffed, his shirt splattered with blood that wasn't his. He looked up at me and smiled. "You should have told me he was such a coward," he said. "I didn't ask what he'd done. The scene told me enough." The nurse's eyes said the rest. Adam would survive, barely. Daniel wouldn't see sunlight for years. That's what the world would see. What they wouldn't see was the quiet precision that followed. While Daniel sat in his holding cell waiting for trial, I moved fast. I contacted his insurance company, claimed spousal rights over assets, shifted funds, liquidated accounts he thought I didn't know about. I even sent his lawyer a copy of the recording, Daniel's voice, cold and deliberate. If I catch him, I'll make sure he never walks again. That was my safety net, proof of premeditation. The prosecution loved it. By the time Daniel realized I had orchestrated the narrative, the poor, betrayed wife with the violent husband, it was too late. His empire of ego crumbled, brick by brick. But I wasn't done. A month before his sentencing, I visited him in jail. He looked thinner, older, like the air inside had stripped him bare. "You win," he said. I tilted my head. "I didn't play to win, Daniel. I played to end." He laughed, that same arrogant laugh. "And your lover? How's he doing?" "Recovering," I said, slowly, "but at least he's breathing." He leaned forward, eyes glinting. "You really think he'll forgive you? You brought him into this. You knew what I'd do." That was the only moment I let silence speak for me. Because he wasn't wrong. I knew. I had warned Adam, but deep down, I wanted Daniel to break. And the only way to break a man like that was to let him destroy himself, publicly, irreversibly. So yes, I knew Adam never fully recovered. He moved away 6 months later. Too much pain, too many memories. I didn't stop him. I didn't chase him. I had gotten what I wanted: freedom, wealth, and silence. Sometimes, at night, I replay the events like a film I've watched too many times. Frame by frame, breath by breath. Daniel's face in the courtroom, Adam's stillness in the hospital, my reflection in the glass. Unreadable. People ask if I regret any of it. No. Regret is for those who lose control. I never lost it. I simply redirected it, like electricity through copper. I guided it until it burned precisely where I wanted. Daniel thought he could own me. Adam thought he could save me. Neither realized I was never the damsel. I was the fuse. And when the spark hit, I didn't flinch. I just watched the fire do what it was meant to. He thought he'd destroyed my lover to punish me, but all he really did was hand me the perfect ending.